All right. Yesterday we worked on the sheet, the science sheet. Today we're gonna complete it. So please, if you have a
Yeah.
hard copy of the sheet, open it. The hard copy
Yeah,
of
I
the sheet.
have it.
Okay.
What do we do? We just do what do we do?
Yesterday we talked about some topics like how do engineers use the design process, and we talk about design process like process engineers follow to solve problems. Also, we talked about some points for this lesson. Then we jumped to this one. What are some plant life cycle? Life cycle is all the stages a living thing goes through during its life. Germinate when a seed breaks open and a small
I don't
plant
can
grows
see.
out of it. Yes,
I don't can see.
you can see the screen.
Yeah, me too. I see it, but I don't can see. Sorry.
Oh my God.
What about now?
No, nothing.
No, not clear.
It's not clear.
Yeah.
Not even clear.
One more.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Osama.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes.
Good morning.
Like this.
Saleh, is it clear?
Listen.
It's clear. Yeah.
The-
That's clear.
okay. So what is
Life,
germinate? Germinate when
life cycle.
a seed breaks open and a small plant grows out of it. Pollen, a powder-like material involved in plant reproduction. This is for this lesson. Then, what are some animal life cycles? You know, we studied before the life cycles of some reptiles like frogs. And we said the first stage of this life cycle is to be egg, then tadpole, then to be adult frog.
Big.
What is larva? Larva, a
Larva.
newly hatched from, I'm sorry, it's a newly hatched form of some insects. Then today we're going to discuss about this one. What are some animal behaviors? So first of all, Ali, what is behavior?
Hmm?
What is behavior?
Um, Anything,
Any,
anything, any animal
anything
does.
any animal does. Again, behavior is anything an animal does.
Yeah.
So like what?
Uh,
Give me any example about any action for an animal, like when the ducks follow their mother in the sea. It's a behavior, right?
yeah.
When an animal eats, it's a behavior.
Yeah.
When an animal play, it's a behavior.
Yeah.
All of that called behavior. So anything animals
Animal.
do is a behavior. Like Ali, when you eat, it's a behavior, right?
Yeah.
When you study your lessons, it's a behavior.
Yeah.
Everything you do, it's a behavior. Osama, what is instinct?
الكورة الكورة مع الكورة
Mister, how are you? A, a behavior that an animal con controls
No,
what
no, nose. The K here is silent, Osama. Okay.
knows what legend it.
Osama, can you repeat after me?
Okay.
Instinct,
Instant
a behavior,
a behavior that an animal knows
nose,
what
without, without,
without
Learning it. Learning it.
learning it.
Yeah. So like Osama, when you born, can you speak?
No,
Can you ride a bicycle?
no,
Can you use your computer?
no way.
Of course not. So instinct is something you do it without learning. Like what?
Like, mm,
When you
like I don't.
like when you if you see a baby before, did you see
Yes,
baby? When a baby scream or shout, it's instinct.
yes.
He or she did it without learning. So
Oh, yeah.
it's instinct, and this is the difference between instinct and behavior. Behavior is anything you do it by learning, and instinct you do it without learning. Number 3 here, migrate. Yes, Anatash, what is migrate?
Migrate move along this distance as a group from one
Region.
region to another and back.
Like if you see some groups of birds when they fly from their land, from their place to another place. Why?
They fly to country to another country
Why they are flying?
because they want a food.
Yeah, they're searching for food or for a new habitat or protect themselves from the predators, you know? Predators
Yeah.
like the wild animals when they attack them.
like 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 a bear or one
Yeah, perfect. Like bears, a
or
lion,
insect.
tigers,
Yes.
all of that. So that's why they are migrating,
They
guys. So now we have some points for this lesson. 5 points. We have to read
teacher.
them carefully, then to remember it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1, I'm asking here Yazan Al Ghamdi to read it. Yazan, number 1, please. Yazan Al Ghamdi, can you hear me?
Mister,
Yes.
I want to tell you something.
Yes, please.
Did you know that some I think the dogs, some kind dogs, when they born
Mhm.
can't see.
They can't see.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, right. That's right. Some kinds of dog.
so. It's behavior. Yeah. So
No,
it's
it's not.
behavior.
It's instinct.
How to see?
After that, when they can see, it's instinct. It's like a gift from the Almighty, from Allah. Is to see
I thought
something.
it was behavior because
You know the baby, even the baby for human, they can't see for 7 days.
yeah.
Oh.
After 7 days, they can see everything.
Like my baby brother, he's 1 year old.
1 years old?
Yeah.
1 year
He's
old.
almost 2.
Oh,
Like
what is his
me
name?
too. So I have my baby brother. His name is Hamoudi. He's 2 years old.
Okay, Yazan Al Ghamdi, can you hear me? Yazan, I think there's a problem with Yazan's microphone. Okay, all right. Abdurrahman,
Yes.
what is the first point?
What?
What is the first point? Can you see?
Yes.
Read that.
Searching for food is an instinct. It does not need to be learned.
Yeah. So we are talking about some animals when they are when they search for food.
They are
It's like instinct. It's not behavior.
okay.
Number two, knowing how to find and catch food is learned. It's not an instinct. Like if I give you example, like when you eat by spoon or fork, it's instinct, Salih, or behavior?
What?
If you eat,
Searching for.
if you eat with a spoon,
It's learned
it's behavior or instinct?
behavior.
Behavior, right. Knowing how to spin a web is an instinct for a spider.
It's very easy. I know it.
Mm,
Can I answer it?
yes,
Instinct.
right. Hibernation is an instinct, right. During hibernation, an animal's heart rate and breathing slow down. So in this topic, I ask you to listen to this video to understand what is some animals' behaviors. Listen to that, please.
Every creature that lives on the earth behaves in distinct ways. Behaviors are the ways animals and humans interact with each other or with their environment. A bird builds nests where it will live and raise its baby birds. Dogs sit or roll over because they may get a treat or a pat on their heads for doing those tricks. People blink to moisten or protect their eyes, and spiders build webs to catch their prey and for protection. Some behavior is learned, and some behavior is innate. Innate means you were born with a certain behavior. These behaviors are automatic. They happen without you thinking about it. Learned behaviors are behaviors that must be taught to animals and humans. Here are a few examples of learned behavior. A dog is taught to sit up, shake, roll over, and where it will go to the bathroom. You were taught how to walk, write, and eat with utensils. A baby is taught how to crawl and then how to walk. All these are examples of learned behavior because someone had to teach the dog, you, or the baby how to do those things. Here are a few examples of innate behavior. A dog knows how to dig a hole.
So guys, innate here means instinct. Innate, something they do it without learning. So it's called innate or instinct.
A spider knows how to build a web. And you know how to blink and grasp something. The dog, spider, and you were all born already knowing how to do those things. No one had to teach you. A human is the most intelligent animal on Earth. Humans have the least number of innate behaviors. Most human behaviors are learned behaviors. In fact, the only innate behaviors in humans are reflex behaviors. A reflex behavior is a simple action that happens without you thinking about it, like blinking. Reflex behavior.
So Osama here, what do you think about blinking? Blinking is instinct or behavior? When you close your eyes and open it, it's instinct or behavior?
Instinct.
Instinct. So you do it without learning, right?
Yes. That is.
Behaviors occur in response to stimulus. The word stimulus means an event or something that happens to you that creates a specific reaction in your body. Here's an example. If your friend is hiding behind a wall and you walk into the room where she's hiding and she suddenly screams out, "Boo!" you might cry out or jump. That's a reflex.
Look at this boy again. He said boo. Okay.
Wall and you walk into the room where she's hiding, and she suddenly screams out, "Boo!" You might cry out or jump. That's a reflex.
So Yazan, what do you think? It's instinct or behavior? When someone is try to scare you, what is your reaction? Is to say, oh my God. So it's instinct or behavior? Instinct.
Yes.
Something you do it without learning, right?
Yes.
Or a response your body made when your friend scared you. Your friend scaring you was the stimulus and your body involuntarily jumping. And she suddenly screams out, "Boo!" You might cry out.
Wait a minute, please.
Or jump. That's a reflex. Or a response your body made.
Okay.
When your friend scared you. Your friend scaring you was the stimulus and your body involuntarily jumping is the reflex. You don't think about reacting that way. Your body simply responds to suddenly getting scared. The same thing happens if you touch a hot stove. Your hand automatically pulls back. Another example of a reflex is when you go in for a physical exam at your doctor's office. When a doctor taps your knee with the rubber hammer, your lower leg automatically kicks. The hammer hitting your knee is the stimulus, and the reflex behavior is your leg kicking. Reflex behavior is an innate behavior because you did not need to learn a reflex. You were just born with it. Animals have many more innate behaviors than humans do. They occur naturally in all animals, just like they do in humans. For example, all dogs know how to dig holes. A dog does not have to practice digging the hole. It can dig a hole for the first time it tries. And it will continue to dig holes in the same way for its entire life. Innate behaviors are sometimes called instincts. These innate behaviors are predictable, which means we can guess or predict what will happen. Let's look at some innate behaviors in animals. Here is a cat stalking or hunting a mouse. This group of baby birds is gaping their mouths open for food. Here, a turtle hatchling is digging its way out of sand just after it's born. And this little baby is sucking on a bottle while grasping its blanket with its hand. All these animals and the baby were born knowing how to do each of those things. There are many other examples of innate behaviors in animals. Remember that animals do not have to practice innate behavior to get better at it. Animals never change innate behavior unless they have to adapt to a changing environment to ensure their survival. A behavior can be a combination of both a learned and an innate behavior.
So if I ask you here, what is behavior? You have to say what, Ibrahim Abdul Hadi? What is behavior?
Behavior is when they are learned, when they have, it's where their behavior is, where they do something they did not learn, they know.
So anything you do it is behavior, right?
Not everything. Some things you learn, no, but some are behavior, means some things you already knew.
No, Ibrahim, put in your mind that anything you do it is behavior. But like there is a difference between instinct and the real behavior, right? The instinct, something you do it without learning, and the behavior, something you do it with learning. Okay?
A dog knows how to dig a hole, but it may have to be taught where it is okay to dig holes. Learned behavior is the opposite of innate behavior. A learned behavior is either taught to an animal or it is developed from an animal interaction with its environment. Sometimes we might confuse innate behaviors that animals and people are born with behaviors that are learned. For example, people are not born with the ability to speak, but it might seem like they are because once a child begins speaking, it seems to come easily. However, if a child was born in the wilderness without other people around, that baby would only grunt and make sounds it hears in the wilderness. That's why speaking is a learned behavior. Someone has to teach young children how to do it. One type of learned behavior is called habituation. The word habituation just means a behavior that becomes a habit. In fact, the word habit is in the word habituation. That can help you remember what the word means. An example of habituation is how you learn to brush your teeth. When you started to learn how to brush your teeth, you may have been raised by a parent when you did it. Or maybe you realized that brushing your teeth is the best way to avoid bad breath and cavities. Eventually, brushing your teeth became a habit. Now, you no longer need the praise to perform the learned behavior of brushing your teeth. Another type of learned behavior is called imprinting. Imprinting is used by ducks, geese, and a few other animals. It happens when baby ducks or geese focus all their attention on the first object that they see, hear, or interact with after they're hatched. When ducklings hatch, they will imprint on the first adult animal they see, which is usually the mother. The ducklings then begin to follow the mother around and imitate her. Sometimes imprinting is thought of as innate behavior, but it is not. Because if ducklings or newborn geese first see a human instead of their mothers, they will imprint on that human and follow it around instead of their mothers. If imprinting was an innate behavior, the ducklings would ignore the human and try to find their mother. There are also learned behaviors called.
All right, so let's come back again to the sheet to describe these points. Again, the first one, behavior, anything an animal does. Number two, instinct. If I ask you in the exam, what is instinct? You would answer by this way: a behavior that an animal knows without learning how to do it. Okay, without learning it. Okay. Number three, migrate. Some animals or some birds migrate. Why? Search for, as Yazan said, search for food or to protect themselves from predators like wild animals, or even to put new birth, you know. So migrate means move a long distance as group from one region to another and back and back. Okay, let's jump to the next topic. What are ecosystem? Yazan Al-Ghandi, you still have problem with your sound system?
What?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was calling you and you can't hear me.
Yeah, because I cannot hear you.
What is ecosystem, Yazan?
All the living things and non-living things in a place.
Okay, now give me two examples for living things and non-living things.
Examples.
For living things, only two examples.
Things,
Like what? Like what? You can say it's living thing.
Like fire.
Like what?
Fire.
Fire?
Yeah.
Fire is living thing?
No, it's not.
So what are the living things? Like what? You are from
Wait.
living things or not?
Yeah.
And the animals from living things?
Yeah.
The birds from living things?
Yeah.
What else?
Snake.
Snakes, reptiles. Okay, if I ask you, Adai? Adai? Omar?
Yes.
Omar, give me two examples for living things and non-living things.
Where it's
What are the living things, Omar? Like animals, they are living things.
Uh,
Plants, plants from living things.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now give me 2 examples, Yazan, for non-living things. Like what? Non-living things. Anything. If you walk on the street. Yazan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
If you walk on the street, can you describe like the non-living things in the street?
The street is not living thing.
When you walk in the street,
Yeah.
what are the non-living things which you can see in the street?
A
Like
house.
houses. Okay. Rocks, sand,
Huh?
the sand, the water.
What?
Over
Yeah.
over the street, you will find a lot of non-living things. So the ecosystem, all living and non-living things in a place. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oday, what is population? What is population? What is population?
Population.
Can you read that?
Read.
Yeah, read that.
Population. All of one kind.
Kind. All
I
of
can't
one.
see it well.
All of one kind.
All of one kind of
Organism.
organism,
Living
living things.
in the same area.
The same area.
Okay. Ibrahim Hashim, what is population?
Population.
Yeah.
All of one kind of organism living in the same area.
Like we have population of lions. They are populations.
Huh?
Can we say the group of lions, they are population? They are population, right?
Your voice.
Again,
Yeah.
again. What is
Your voice
population?
is lagging.
Okay, it's lagging now.
All of one kind of organism living in the same area.
Okay, now my voice is lagging.
Little.
Okay, so we said that population of all of one kind, like the group of lions, they are population. The group of tigers, they are population. The group of monkeys, even some groups of plants.
Even groups of trees.
Yeah, they are population. Okay,
Even groups of snakes.
a group of snakes, they are population. Okay, now can you read the first point? The living.
Things in an ecosystem interact. They are connected or linked. Living things in the same ecosystem share the resources there. 3. Different
There. Like, how can they share the resources? Like what? Like if they have river, they will drink from this river together.
Yeah.
They will
so-
eat from the same grass. And some wild animals, they will eat another animal to live, right?
Right.
So by this way, they are interact, connected, and linked. Thank you, Ibrahim. Muhammad, what is number 3?
I read.
Read it.
Different plants and animals may share the same
Habitat.
habitat or space.
You know, the word habitat means the place where they live. Okay?
No? Okay.
Okay, thanks. Ibrahim Abdul Hadi, what is number 4?
Wait, yes?
Number 4, read it, please.
No, I don't have the paper.
The animals read from my screen.
It's not. I cannot.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, Anatish. Number
Yeah.
4.
Yes.
4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
The animal and plants in an area
Area.
are part
Hmm?
are part of the same community.
So you know, Yazan, when we have population and another population and another population, all of that perform a community. So what is community? Community is like a group of many populations.
What, Mister?
If I ask you what is
Ratio of population?
population, like this one, like the word population, can you see it?
Yes.
So population plus population plus population and so on, they are all community. Okay, like the group of lions, the group of tigers, the group of monkeys, they are live in the forest, for example. So they are performing a community. Osama, number 5.
5. The plants may be food for some animals.
Yeah, the plants may be food for some animals. Like, can you give me one example of an animal eat plants?
A bee
A bear, and what else?
and a butterfly.
Butterfly. Butterfly. Okay, a butterfly for insects. Maybe. Can you give me examples for animals? Only for animals, like the deer, the antelope, the camels,
The buffalo,
the cows.
What
Perfect.
buffalo?
Buffalo is like a cow.
Yeah, he's the boy and the cow's the girl.
Yeah, right. No, it's not like that. Buffalo is different from cows.
Yes, I know.
It's not girl and boy. Okay, and you know some animals, they don't eat plants. They eat other animals to live.
Like tiger.
Like tigers, right? For some animals, other animals in a community are food, and we can say they are consumers. They are predators. But for plants, they are producer. They can make their own food by themselves. So let me show you a very important system about what are ecosystem. Hold a moment, please. Okay, here we go.
Math and science. In this video, I'd like to talk about an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? This desert is an ecosystem. This forest is an ecosystem. This pond is an ecosystem. And under this rock is even an ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living and non-living objects in a particular area. Another name for living objects is biotic, and non-living objects is abiotics. You can classify ecosystems several ways, but one method is to use the amount of rainfall and the type of soil. For example, the rainforest receives a large amount of rainfall each year, which is an abiotic factor. The plant and animals that live have adapted to large amounts of rain and heavy vegetation. Some animals, like this sloth, have the ability to live high in the trees. These frogs survive by being poisonous. In an ecosystem, the communities can be divided into populations, which are groups of one type of an organism. These animals also have a home called a habitat. There are also water ecosystems like a pond, lake, river, and the ocean. A small ecosystem, like this area under a rock, is a micro ecosystem. A medium-sized
It's not even living.
The video is stopped. What? There are not. We cannot hear anything.
Anyways,
What?
Yes, and you can see.
No. Yes, I was not can see. I was not can hear.
Okay, so we talked about some ecosystems. Okay.
I know means ecosystem, mister. Means the living thing and non-living thing.
They are all in the same place. Okay.
Like the living thing, like a man or a person.
Ecosystem
Is
is
the
that
living
plants are
thing
spaced
a
far
food?
apart compared to the tropical
Practice math on Adapted Mind and earn rewards on your learning adventure.
rainforest. This means the soil is more rich. The soil is not constantly being drained of nutrients. The rich soil is another non-living thing that plants and animals interact with in this ecosystem. The temperate deciduous forest ecosystem is an interesting one for plants and animals.
All right. Now I'd like to thank you all for this time and see you later in what?
Mister,
See you later in
why
math class.
Bye.